Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode Behind the Bite. This is episode 9. As always, I am your little hostess friend, Rubilina. I am one of the writers of Kaseki. Before we get started, I have to say, Oz is unfortunately not here this evening. Maybe he'll join later on, but he had some family obligations to take care of. Should he arrive later on, we are more than happy to have him aboard. However, I do have our other two guests on us, and I will let them introduce themselves. You are live.
Alright, I'm Will G.A. Will. I'm the creator of Try, and I also help with Kaseki.
My name is Quazar, Quazar X. I'm one of the admins of the Writer Hub and creator of Kamen Rider Genku.
There we go. So, before we start, should anyone in the chat wish us to cover the drama that's currently going on Twitter, we are not going to. Keep us out of that. Thank you. Randy, no, we're not going to let you in. Good try.
This is the cool kids table.
As you should have already read in the description, we are going to be covering fanfiction and writing, and hopefully giving some aspiring writers some advice. Which bite are you behind, says Noel. The bite. That's all you need to know, don't worry. So, yep, we're going to be covering writing and fanfics. Unfortunately, Canon is not here to keep us on track, so we're going to try our best. So, my first question, which should prompt a lot of discussion, I feel like, especially on my side, I would like to ask you two, why are you two writing?
Ooh.
What drives you to write? Digital Jacob also says, Quasar, you owe him money.
I don't owe you anything just because you can't summon the Gogeta.
See, we can have fun. So
yeah.
Why do you guys write?
So, the reason why I write is because I have a hyperactive mind, and it gives me a lot of ideas. One of the ideas is I put into a D&D campaign that I do with 7 other people, which I'm the DM, and I'm basically creating a story for them, and it's just like, it's crazy. And this has been something that I've created basically over 14 years of random ideas. And I also wanted to try and do just a fan fiction, really, for like Kamen Rider.
Seems reasonable. Quasar, what about you? What's your little story?
Well, I'm very open about this because, like, I mostly wrote Genkaku because of you guys, and Will, because.
Well, why are you writing? Not particularly your fan fiction, just why do you write?
Writing's just fun, really. Just exploring the ideas, really.
Me personally, and I'm sure other people can relate to this in the chat. For me personally, writing is my escape from reality, and the main character who I write, Rubilina, I've been working on her for probably about 6 years now, her and her world, and I probably have stacks upon stacks of just world building and story for her that I haven't been able to write out, but building the world it's my escape. It lets me be someone completely different. It lets me imagine things outside the barrier of possibility, from alternate realities to parallel timelines, and even the concept of general physics itself. For me, it's a way for me to get out. That's how I feel when I write. But I happily take it. And I've been...
No. Yeah, I definitely know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Um, Here's another one, because I just thought of it. So, a lot of people have different writing styles, and I'm sure you can testify to that. So, what do you think defines a story? I should ask. Because I'll say this. For me, what defines a story is the characters and the setting. The characters have to be well developed so that you can relate to them. And the setting has to be somewhere you can go. And somewhere believable that has context and feeling behind it.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Also, another thing, I feel personally, every story should have is a beginning. Basically, flesh out how you want to start this story. A middle, like, basically, it doesn't have to be a big idea. It could be, like, something simple. It could be, basically, like, a character dies or something big happens. And then the ending where everything gets, basically, there's a resolution. I feel like that's also important to a story because if you don't have that, basically, you're just continuing on, and stuff starts getting old. And
so I'd like to ask you about that a little more. So I've heard both sides of the aisle. So for you, do you begin with the beginning or do you begin with the end?
I actually don't begin with either. I begin more with the middle, actually. More of thinking, okay, what do I want to plan to happen in the story, not how I want it to begin, not how I want it to end.
Interesting.
Because in the middle is where everything happens.
Agreed.
The beginning is how it starts, and that could be messy, trying to figure out how I want to start it. That can take months of you just trying to figure out, I want it to begin this way, how do I write it? If you just go with the middle, start writing out tons of ideas, you can incorporate them somehow.
Quazar, what about you?
I don't really start with either. I kind of just jump.
Well, first off, what do you feel is the most important part to a story?
The most important part to me really is like just that when you're reading, you have a general idea of just and more so on like just the general storytelling.
So, I'll pose the same question to you. Where do you start at?
Mainly the beginning and the ending, really.
I would agree with that. For me, I've been taught recently, in one of my classes, that for an upcoming paper we have to do, or for a lesson plan, sorry, because elementary education, it's start with the assessment and your goals for the lesson, and then bring in all of the context. How are you going to achieve those goals? How are you going to drive them into the assessment? So I would agree to that. Are there any other questions that either of you two can think of? Otherwise, I'm sure we can get some from chat.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get some from chat.
Otherwise, I suppose we can slowly move on.
Yeah.
So, fan fictions. We all know them. We all love them in some capacity. Some are good, some are bad, some are laughable, some are serious.
Yeah.
Others are sometimes really, really dumb. Much like some things that happen in life.
I've seen some very dumb fanfics in my life.
So, the question I'm going to extend to you two, and hopefully into chat, is, well, which one would you like to start with, the good or the bad?
Ooh.
I'm asking that in advance. So what would you like to start
what
with,
would
the good or the bad?
What would the chat like?
It might be a while before we get any answer from them.
True.
The chat is not reliable.
Eh.
I guess we can start with bad.
Okay.
Start with the bad?
I'm fine with that.
So, we're going for the bad. It is not good or bad fanfiction. Neither good or bad questions, Noel. But if you have any questions for us about just writing in general, feel free to ask them. No, this is what we were asking for. We said bad, correct?
Yes.
So, what are some of the cardinal sins you see over and over in fanfiction?
Oh.
What are the things you see done the most that you believe are not correct?
I definitely know several. Inserting yourself into your own fanfic.
I would agree to that.
That is a major one that I've seen done over and over.
I think that's a big no-no.
And in some cases, yes, but in others, it's like, if it's obviously for a joke,
yeah,
then go right ahead. If it's not, don't.
I think the biggest thing I can think of is like a self-insert with like a celebrity, and it's like no.
Yeah, no.
Don't do that.
No. Another one is killing a character for no reason. Like,
for no reason.
This person just explodes. If it doesn't have any, like, basically it doesn't develop anything, like, basically give people real emotions or anything, I don't recommend it. There are some cases where it's fine, like, if it's, like, killing off a character because, you know, they're not going to be in the series anymore, it's like... But you have to do it in a way that doesn't make it seem like this person's just going to die.
Mm-hmm. I would agree to that, because I've seen that sin quite often, and for me, even I have a hard time with it. Yeah, Quazar, do you have any?
Just when someone's writing and like there's no like language, when you're just hearing a bunch of cuss words for no real reason other.
When there's just a string of cuss words for no reason, really?
Yeah.
I think in that same vein, it's repeating the same word over and over.
Yeah.
I think repeating the same word over and over, for lack of a better term, is repetitive, dull, and boring.
Unless it's a catchphrase.
I would agree.
Biggest example has to be lucky.
Yeah. That one I find very annoying just because it's said all the time.
Exactly, and
whereas something like, let's say, drives, let me take you for a spin. I can't really think of many circumstances when he said that. I don't know if he says it before every fight or not.
I feel like he says so many other catchphrases even before a fight.
Even the thing with his brain in Top Gear, like
that's
memorable.
a catchphrase. But like he only says it a few amount of time.
Yeah, that's memorable. Whereas something like Yosha Lucky
is
you're going to all the time.
Atakaharu is saying I'm burning up.
I understand, like, that's his character, and he's supposed to be the luckiest, so he mentions how he's lucky. But don't say it every 5 minutes. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I know Alti's gonna stab me for saying that, but I stand by it. It was not a good trait.
I feel like Sentai does it a lot more than Kamen Rider.
I would agree. Sentai is a lot more geared to younger audiences over Kamen Rider, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Sentai's a lot for younger and Kamen Rider's for older, just because it does have a lot more adult like humor
Yeah.
and like areas.
Yeah.
Also with Amazons and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we were saying, yeah, repeating the same words over and over was...
Yep.
It's a mess.
And I am a victim of that. I've done that in the past a lot.
I have as well. I'm not going to deny that. But
yeah.
It's a matter of go to just a dictionary website, type in the word you're using, and hopefully you can find something else.
Oh my god, like when I first started writing, especially for...
Pardon me, Chad, I just gotta switch over overlays real quick just to make sure this stream stays alive. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, continue on.
So, like, especially when writing for D&D, because I write everything out for that, I, like, dictionary. Look at a dictionary. Like, trust me.
Agreed.
It helps so much.
Agreed. And I can't think of any other cardinal sins that I've really seen. I'm sure there's plenty out there that we're missing. But I can't think of anything else. So.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else, actually.
Now that we're done with some sins, what are, for lack of a better term, some quote-unquote heavenly virtues that you have seen? Things that, someone brought up a very good point. Forced romance.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a mess. Don't do it.
Unless it's for those kind of fanfics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
And if it's in like a long running series, try building it up.
I would agree.
Like, unless it's Stockholm syndrome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you bringing it there?
I have seen it in a few fanfics and I don't like it. I don't like when they insert something like that.
When they insert a disease to force a romance?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And like that actually annoys me.
Even in professional writing. Because you can think of books like Fault in Our Stars or whatever it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the book.
That's definitely a book. I don't know if it's the book you're thinking of.
Probably not. It's the one with the two individuals with like cancer or something, and the famous was like okay, or something like that.
To be perfectly honest, I have not read the book.
Yeah, I have no idea. But stuff like that, it's begging for... It has to be somewhat well written. And even then, it's I understand some people like it, and that's totally okay. I'm not big on it.
Yeah.
Yep, Fault in Our Stars is what people are saying.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so it is that.
Thank you.
Well, my Star sounds like a Q Ranger, bro.
Alright.
I don't
think we're gonna scroll over past that too easily. Fault in Our Stars would be a Q Ranger adaptation.
Oh my god.
Huh?
No, it would. No, it sounds like.
It sounds like one. Yeah, I would say so.
It sounds like an abridged series.
Yeah, it does.
We're not touching abridged series.
No,
we're not touching those. Those are a whole new ball game. That's
another episode for a later date.
Yeah, they're a combination of cardinal sins and heavenly virtues.
Yeah, especially the big ones.
Well, I can respect some of the bigger ones. It's smaller ones that are.
Yeah, I know which ones.
We're not going any
about.
further.
I can
think of some smaller ones, but.
So we should go into
heavenly virtues. So things that you see over and over again, but that work. Now, this shouldn't be in actual books. This should be only in fan fictions. What are things that you see repeated over and over that work. Don't go for stereotypes. Like
this is
going to like that.
The one that I'm thinking of is going to be in books because
that's fine.
Books also do it. TV shows do it. Giving not just the main characters and side characters plot development, but also the villains.
I would agree. Having villains that you can see behind the scenes of and get an understanding for why they're doing the thing they're doing and to what end they're doing the thing they're doing, I think that grows the story exponentially.
Yep.
I think one of mine is like a sense that the setting is changing as the story.
Yes.
I've always found that really interesting, a dynamic setting that changes over time. And I really want to do something like that with my own story, where this is a very nice and pristine place, but as time shifts, it becomes more and more dark and decayed and broken down.
Another thing that I really like is when they use on-running jokes.
I would agree. As long as it's not poor.
Like, whenever, like, and I'll say this, especially for Try, because I have the on-running joke that Ren disassembles every single appliance or anything in the... anything.
Yeah. And it's good to have those, but you have to also make fun of your on-running jokes.
Yeah. No, like, I do that.
I think that's... to bring it back to a bridge series, I think that's where you can start to separate the goods from the bads.
Yes, that's...
Do they have repeated jokes? Do they mock their own repeated jokes while mocking the show with repeated jokes?
I agree.
Do they refer to their repeated jokes in different contexts?
Yep.
That sort of stuff.
I 100% agree with you there.
It's at that moment it kind of changes from a quote-unquote dub to more of a parody and a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And even...
Especially with Summer Bridge, like, they do a joke once, and then at the end, like, way end of a series, they bring it back up and you're like, oh, you clever. I can give an example. I can give an example.
Sure.
Hellsing Abridged Ultimate, or Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, is just like, it's Team 4-Star. They have
For me, I've heard that one is just Hellsing.
Yeah.
Like it's just what it is.
It literally is, and I think they do it perfectly.
Yeah. I think ones like that are very good. Is it the Boondock Saints joke, someone said?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
For me, the one that I like to refer to is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged that I've seen since forever.
Oh, yes.
Just because they've been doing it for so long, and they've been mocking the company, they've been mocking the show, they mock themselves. Everything clicks together and it works.
Well, it's actually just one person that does all that, and he just has guest voices.
Yeah.
Which, I gotta say, like, he does a fantastic job.
Yeah, because I assume he does most of the writing himself.
Yeah, no,
and then
he
has to get
does.
the voices for that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's been going for so long doing this thing, yet it still seems fresh and new with each arc, that astounds me.
Like, personally, I thought he was never going to do Waking of the Dragons.
Yeah.
And he did, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready for it. This is the worst season of all time.
I just want to see if he's going to continue on, or if he's going to move on to something else.
I think he's going to finish.
Well,
I understand
that he's probably going to finish the original series, But I'm asking, is he going to move on to the next one, or is he going to move on to something else entirely?
Oh, I would assume something entirely.
Yeah, which I'm absolutely fine with.
Yeah.
Because he can take what he's learned.
Yeah.
So no, repeated jokes, yes, but they have to be done right.
Like, they had to be executed perfectly.
They have to be well executed. They need to be sparsely reused, except when it's right. And they have to make fun of their own jokes.
Yes. Yeah.
Because again, I think that's where good can be separated from great. And where good can also be separated from not so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, are there any others you two can think of?
No, not really. Not for me.
Quazar, do you have any others?
Not really.
If chat has any others they would like us to talk about, now would be your time to say it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any others I've seen otherwise.
I mean, if we're talking also Kamen Rider fan fictions, I just want to say a lot of people do great upgrades, great like trying to like put them in and everything.
Someone said good paragraph formatting is always nice. I would agree. I don't
Yes.
think that's a heavenly virtue. It's just something that makes the fanfiction just easier to read.
I think a good title. For episodes and stuff is good.
I think having an episode title is something heavily needed.
Yeah, because like,
and for me, it has to relate to what's in the context of that.
Yeah.
Of that chapter.
Yeah, like Try has episode titles, and like when you read them, you're like, oh, something interesting is going to happen.
Yeah. I guess the way I would refer to that is take a look at even just Kamen Rider episodes.
Yeah.
For example, just to bring it back to Drive, even though I haven't seen it, the fact that the episodes are in questions, but relate those questions to the episode that's airing, I think that is really good to have.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
It makes the user, it makes the watcher question the stuff that's happening. That feeling when you still haven't planned an upgrade for your Kamen Rider fic. Oof. We feel that.
Oof. Yeah, no, it took forever for me to plan, because, like, I went through several ideas, even for Try, like, just getting Try off the map. Like, originally it was going to be, oh, Try's going to be a form that Build gets. It's going to be Rabbit Tank Dragon. And I thought, I can take this further.
Yeah, I think how you took it was much better.
And then I took, like, I literally had, like, 15 other, like, base forms, and it's just, like, none of them would have worked. And then I came up with this one. It's like, yeah, that works.
Do you want to remind people who are watching what it is?
So Try is a...
You don't have to explain the whole thing, just the base form you settled on.
Okay, Titanium Racer Iguana. Basically combining, basically like an element and two, like, organic things. So, like, you know, you get one inorganic and you get an organic, and that's basically what the forms are made of.
Yeah. For me, what I like in Rider Fix, though, is... even just in the first episode, if they even do brief ones throughout the rest of the episodes, fine by me. But I respect a good, detailed first demonstration of transformation. I heavily respect that, because it's so difficult to write. So the fact that you can tell if they put effort into thinking about the transformation for their hero just shows, hey, this person really cares about their project. and really wants us to see their care too.
Yeah, I can definitely agree to that, because God, that, like, even just writing how I'm gonna make it work, it just took forever.
So,
yeah,
and even in the rest of the stories, if it's just like, hey, this thing happens and he's transformed, like we know how it works, and we can see that in our minds.
yeah,
I think having that first detailed how-to is worth it, and that's what I see writer shows do, is, hey, here's the detailed transformation for the very first time a transformation is shown. After that, it gets very sparse and easier to do.
okay.
But the very first one is always the most complicated, because they have to show off everything.
Yeah.
Because even with Build, if you want to think with me back to that, the first appearance you saw inside the driver, you saw all of the gun plows. It took its time building up. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But in the later episodes, you can really tell, hey, he cranks a lever, you see the gun plows fly out, then smash together.
Yeah.
It's just little blobs, but they push together. And I think that's beautiful, because we know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Otherwise, I'm happy to move on to our last topic.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any like, we could do questions at the end.
If you have any questions about writing in general, we're happy to answer them. If you have any cardinal sins or heavenly virtues you want us to talk about, please share them, because we will happily discuss them.
Like, I think one heavenly virtue in writer that I personally like, the idea of that the common writers are still around, but their story is over. Like, you just get like references. References are.
I think having references to previous seasons is exceptional.
Yeah,
especially
like that.
I can respect like the really low key ones that people can pick out from some weird frame and be like, this is a reference to this show. Good luck finding it out. That's the kind I like. But even just saying like, hey, like, this writer was fairly active in this city.
I just like the idea, like the history of that writer is still there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I feel like an example I can give is like, if you're writing a story and you bring up like, even just saying like, did you hear that the city of Futo opened up a new city hall or something like that? Just saying, hey, this city exists and we recognize it. I think those little things go a long way. Noel Cruz said, detailed suit descriptions. I think all of these last three that we've talked about also apply to Sentai. I love getting a suit description. But I feel like when it comes down to that, you should have art for the writer instead of describing it in words. I think it's good to do, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
I feel like at least having, like, a brief description could be nice, but when it comes to seeing the suit, I would rather see the suit over being told it. And that also applies to presentation, because how you should be doing a presentation is show, don't tell.
Yes.
So I think a picture goes a lot farther than words in describing a suit. That's my feeling on it. I don't know how you two feel.
No, I'm the exact same.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't have any art for try.
Yeah. So you might have to look into describing it and telling it. I guess Bobby you could talk to and he can try.
I talked to him.
Yeah, Bobby's someone on the server who does fantastic work.
I talked with him a few months ago. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's gonna happen, or was it? It might have been Geo.
Geo is really good. I know I commissioned him one time.
It was either Bobby or Geo, but yeah, no, I'll get it done eventually.
Yeah, both of them are very good at what they do. Yeah, I'm happy to move on to our last topic.
Alright.
If you two are ready.
I'm ready.
So, some people in this chat may be doing writing themselves, might be thinking of doing writing, may not be good at writing. We don't know who you are, but I want us to try to come up with between 3 to 5 tips for writers. Those aspiring to be, those who are writing. What tips can we give? And I think the first one is just embrace it. If you're not loving what you're writing, then don't write it. And for me, the way that I keep myself loving what I'm doing and loving my world building is I try to come up with something new every so often. Because recently I've been focusing on, like, the government of the world and how it functions in people's lives.
Okay.
And I think that's super important for the development of the world. The other thing I do to keep myself engaged with it is I'll have certain songs that I will listen to in order to convey a certain meaning, to pull out something that I want readers to feel. And I love it. And I feel like if you don't love what you're writing, then you shouldn't be writing. You shouldn't be writing that.
Alright.
Like the biggest tip I could give is organizers.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, for me, I like, even though I write my own story, I forget sometimes my characters' names, like just like what musical instrument their standby is.
Yeah, be well organized, because you can lose stuff like that, and it's just a mess if you do.
Especially with plot details.
Well, even just your writing, because in my case, and I know everyone's gonna yell at me over this, for lack of a better word, fuck you all. I put most of my ratings on Google Plus, because I have been using it since I started creating the character. So for me, that's where all of my stuff has been. And now they're shutting that down, and I'm at the mercy of just losing that all. I've already put it all on a flash drive. I have it backed up for myself. But it's just this whole story that I've been cultivating is just poofing away from one corner of the internet. And that hurts me. Knowing that I had all of this work and I was proud of it, and now it's just gonna poof away.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, organization, because you never know what could happen. It's so easy to lose something. I know one person who forgot one detail for a story and turned one particular scene into something terrible because of it. It's coming from chat. Yeah. Just keep track of your stuff. Put it all into either one or two places at a time.
Yeah.
One or two other places, I should say. Because
Yeah.
I know I only have my writing on Google Plus and a flash drive right now. And I need to copy a couple more flash drives and make sure that I have that writing all backed up on multiple places. That in the long run is going to save you. I know I found some old writing from like 8th grade that I had. And I was like, oh my god, I remember this. So I saved it onto a drive because I was like, okay, I don't need this other drive for anything. I want to keep this writing because it was important to me.
What was the story about?
Oh, it was like some widespread disease shit. It had people who I was friends with, and I was like, it was a mess. That's all you need to know. I'm sure I have more notes laying for it around for it somewhere. I have no idea where, though. I think I have an idea of where they could be. But yeah. So, be organized. Love what you're doing. Will, do you have anything?
No. I had some stuff, but I really covered it through, like, cardinal sins. Like, don't do this, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Get a spell checker.
Yes, that's something.
Yeah, because for me personally, when I type, I can't do the usual thing that you were taught in school where it's like, hey, have your fingers here and then type away. I have one hand for one side and the other for another side, but I need to look at the keys I'm typing.
Same.
Yeah, because I can't do it off the top of my head. I need to see what I'm hitting. So I'll type a little slower than normal, but for me that saves me a lot of time from having to take away from spell checking everything. Because I know I'm mostly getting things right. But no, if you're the type who types really fast, spell check. At least at the end of every page. And going off that, just finish putting out your thoughts first. Don't stop in the middle of the page because you misspelled a word. Continue on, finish the page, and then go back and correct it. Because then at least you have all of your thoughts out and you can start at a good point. You could probably even do less than that and go every chapter. But, yeah, spell check.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Don't be afraid to try new things. If you feel like your writing is one-sided, I guess for lack of a better term, mix it up. Try something outside of your box. Or make a whole new story. Make a new character and let them go. Let them be them. I know I have several characters outside of my main one. And I barely get any time in for them just because I can't find people who would be interested in doing anything with them. But I know that if anyone ever wants to, I have them to fall on. And I think that's important. Trying something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
Can we get one more? Sure, we can try to get one more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me think here. Make sure you're telling a story.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
So, this is a big turn off for me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because, Will, I know you're very interested in D&D.
Yes. Yes, that is a major thing that has consumed my life.
For me, I don't enjoy D&D.
Yeah, okay.
The reason why is because as a writer, seeing people go against what you've put work into as a DM, if you ever DM, that kind of breaks me inside. I can't imagine doing that. Because it's a story that you want to be telling. Now,
yeah, and fortunately, I am with a group that actually cares for the story a lot, and they care with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's not like the case. That like I run a Saturday group and once a month a Wednesday group. The Wednesday group doesn't really care for the story that much. They more of just want to kill stuff, do fun stuff, and you know what? I've accepted that with that group. So story comes second, fun stuff comes first. And with my Saturday group, if they were listening to this, they would be like, "Aw, we love you too." They are great, and same with my Wednesday group. But my Saturday group just knows I want a story. I'm here for the story. Fun stuff can also happen. I also want character development, and like basically they're like the perfect group you want to have, even though they are naturally insane.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I wouldn't mind doing DM. And I have an idea for what I want to do because it would be a lot more open to the players.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's just that idea of a story you work so hard on to tell.
Yeah.
Just being ignored.
Yeah, and they've done that a little bit, but then I know how to basically drag them back in. So I'm going to tell you something that actually happened last Saturday. I killed off an NPC, and at first they were like, "Oh, who was that?" And then it didn't really hit them that people die in this world.
Yeah.
Like just naturally, because this was the first NPC I actually killed until the funeral happened.
Yeah.
In which they decided we're gonna. They decided this. I didn't. I was going to do it like a day later. They decided that day and now after the battle, where a lot of stuff happened, that they would bury the bodies, and it just made it worse.
Yeah.
Like they actually were crying.
Yeah.
And so was I.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say in the end is know the audience you're writing for.
Exactly.
And tell a story that you want to tell. If someone says otherwise, then for lack of a better term, fuck them. It's your story that you're typing in the end. You shouldn't be listening to anyone who says otherwise. To go off that just because I see it around a ton, and I guess it could be marked as a cardinal sin. When you are reviewing a story, always, always, always do positive, negative, and positive. Yep.
Yes.
Because saying two things that you like about the story, plus one negative that's well worded, that means a ton to a writer, and that is called criticism.
A negative and a negative does not make a positive.
Agreed.
This isn't math. Like, I hate to say this, it is not math.
Yep.
You still have to give a positive when reviewing.
Yep.
And that is something that I have seen, and that is actually a huge problem I have when people are reviewing, because I've seen it with Kaseki, I've seen it with others fanfics. Even if you do one negative, still give a positive.
Yes.
Like,
in the end, what I'm trying to get at with that is criticism is not this sucks and I'll tell you why. It's you are criticizing to help others get better. And in order to do that, you should be offering a solution.
Yes.
Because we as writers are about helping each other, not putting each other down.
Yeah.
Same with artists, and same with anyone else, whether it be in a work field, in even a bank, or even in a grocery store, whatever. We are here to help each other improve, not to berate and belittle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the big thing I want to drive home from this whole thing. So, anything else from you two?
No, other than thanks everyone for really coming out. This was it's great to do. It's great to be on this podcast because I don't get to do it a lot. Fortunately, tonight was one of my free nights, really. So yeah.
Quazar, do you have anything?
Not really.
Alright.
Really.
If anyone in the chat is interested in following Try or Quazar, their links are in the description, as well as mine. You're more than welcome to follow me. Again, I didn't show up, but hopefully next time he'll be here. Because, yeah. I'm sure you'll get your What's Up Gamers then. So, once again, thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. This has been Behind the Byte episode 9. Thank you once again, and we hope you have a good weekend. See ya.
Later.
Later.